Hello and welcome people to Panzer Dragoon Saga. We're here together with Stan and we're getting things done faster because I don't want this thing to take on like 2 years to finish.
Stan, I thought I was Shade.
No. You can even never mind.
Now I'm just disappointed.
You're a disappointment.
Where we last left off, we got a giant stingray as our dragon.
Yes, it's honestly kind of shit. As I prove whereas it does have all of the special abilities of all of the forms, it lacks the stat abilities.
100 across the board. Such a disappointment.
In any case, what it means is, whereas I do get all of the free turn berserkers at hand anytime I load up free turns, and I do get all of the abilities that come with free turns, I do not get the abilities that come with just stats. So I have to always pay the full price for my berserkers. And also, yeah, that's actually the biggest thing, because the final dungeon is very heavy on magic use. Whenever you actually get into an encounter, you basically have to use magic, especially if you're in this form. Oh, and these
Look
guys,
at all those zeros.
These guys, the gimmick with them is that one of them is resistant to magic. Well, no, one of them is resistant to shot, and one of them isn't. Just attack one of them, and once one of them is dead, they're both dead.
Huh, okay then. There we go, that's the correct one.
Yeah, and they go down really fast.
So, quick question, is this your dragon's final form, or is there more to come?
Maybe.
This isn't even my final form!
No. Thankfully, we do get a Mighty Morphin powered dragon again, as in
Good.
a dragon that can morph.
Good.
And it's a pretty special form. But you will see eventually.
English. It
It's
looks
a
more
weird
like they're
attack.
dancing.
Kind of, sort of.
Like, they're not even really doing anything to you. They're just like having a dance party, and you're over here raining on their parade shooting at them. What's wrong with you?
Well, they did attack me with that anguish thing. I don't know what it does, but I would rather not find out.
Synchronizer. Yeah, see, they're just fucking dancing. Look at that.
Actually, yes.
God, gotta harsh their mellow, man.
Those arms just look adorable.
So, like, yeah, he should die after this.
Yes.
There we go.
And there goes
I'm gonna miss those guys.
None of the bosses in the tower are really anything special. To be honest, just they do have a gimmick to them, but none of them are quite the lying dick of evilness.
Really? That wasn't apparent? It'll be dangerous. You should go away.
それにこれは私自身が決めたことだから。
そうか。なら行くよ。
Go where? Up?
I actually have no idea.
I can tell you're like,
The camera isn't very helpful.
Oh,
to
it was
say the
behind
least.
you, logically.
It's actually where I entered, I think. No, it isn't. God damn it.
Oh.
This place gets confusing that way. Like, you can't it's hard to tell where you entered the boss and where when you're actually supposed to go. And here is how you get into random encounters.
Oh, you run into the screensavers there.
Yes, and these things you want to get rid of rather fast, because they will damage you quite substantially, and at the same time they will run away from you, so you get no experience and you lose a lot of HP.
I love those types of enemies in old RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
So you just
Over
obliterated them with Destructo Disc. How do you feel?
Pretty good. And they do give quite some experience. So, well, still they don't give quite as much as as much as the sand mites or the the other things that give ridiculous amounts of experience, but they're much easier to find because you basically run into them every 2 seconds if you set off an alarm. Whereas with sand mites or the other guys, they're just a hassle to get into an encounter with them. And you deactivate them by
shooting them.
By shooting this thing. It looks suggestively.
なんだこのスイッチ
What's it looking suggestively at?
Well, not looking that way. It is rather suggestive. Not that
Suggestive of what? Death? 'Cause that's what I would associate it with.
Not exactly, because it helps you.
What's with all the strobe lights?
Well, you know, this entire tower is a gigantic biocomputer, and here you have to shoot andros.
He looks angry,
If
and then
you
he
don't
just lets you go. Yeah.
And if you don't Tetris him the right way, you get into a very easy encounter that you can actually abuse for restoring stats,
Sweet.
which I'm gonna be showcasing like twice, I believe.
So angry. Gotta time it.
Yeah, some of them are easier to avoid than others. And some of them get pretty ridiculous later, like, well, I wouldn't say none of them are unavoidable, but some are easier than others. And some you don't even have to get near to.
What does it say about a society when almost all of their technology is activated by shooting it?
Well, they did go down in a war, so... And here I didn't catch this camera the right way. So, we get a monster from Baroque.
Ooh, does that mean we're gonna hug somebody and explode?
There will be kind of sort of an explosion.
Okay then.
And there is a computer simulation involved. But in any case, as you see, he will never actually attack you in the transparent area, because he will always be way too busy looking at you, and so you can just restore all of your stats.
Hey man, you're making me dizzy, come back.
Just constantly turn around, he'll never do a thing.
Whoops. You know, I like to imagine Kaim here just being a jerk, teasing the thing while he's circling it.
No, that's not Kaim's way of doing things.
Well, come on, you gotta give him something. He looks so generic as it is. I guess
Well, which Kaim do you mean?
One riding the dragon.
Well, that isn't
I call
Kaim.
him. I know it's not. His name's not actually Kaim. I just call him that because you named your file that.
Well, that's the point. It's not actually the name of the character. It's just the name of the one that controls Edge.
Yes.
Exactly.
time's a douche.
No, and here I actually did it on accident.
Whoops. And just shoot him. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't really need to restore any stats anymore, so I'll just
unload. That was simple. Hey, go back to dying. There you go.
do it better next time.
I give you a C. Need to improve it.
Well, I did get an excellent this time. You get E for excellent.
Remember, kids, as long as it's not an F, you're technically not failing.
You get an A for abomination.
Ouch. What is it with you and bumping into walls? See, like that.
It's not technically a wall.
Close enough.
It's a laser.
It's a laser wall, okay? That actually sounds
Berserker's
ridiculous.
Rage.
Goodness.
This attack goes on for much longer. They just cannot survive all of its awesome.
Well, okay. Fly all the way back to disable it.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh god, you seriously have to fly all the way back to disable it?
Nope. Is there.
It's just right behind you, okay, good.
There are
I was about to
multiple of
say.
those. There are multiple of those throughout the entire dungeon. And
Got
they're
it.
always right next to the alarm spots. As you see, some of them are just weirdly placed and make no fucking sense. I would even run into them. And if you ask why I am barrel rolling at all times, it's because I can.
You have nothing better to do.
Exactly.
Oh man.
I do like the lights in the ceiling.
I know, I've been staring at him the whole time.
And what is really cool at the very end of the dungeon.
最初来た時には通らなかった
At the very end of the dungeon,
ちょうど真ん中の層に当たる
all of those lights come together
塔が
into
起動
one
したせいで
spot.
内部の構造に少し変化して
It's where they're all
あそ
connected
この接
to.
続部分を切り替えてが
Did they cut off her speech? How rude.
I may have done this by myself, by accident.
And bam, you die. Oh.
There are weirder things you can do with things bumping into you during cutscenes. I've shown it of it like one of the first episodes.
Yeah, some games are guilty of that. For example, I believe it was Perfect Dark. You can actually fail the mission before it even begins because enemies can spot you during the cutscene. It's fun when stuff like that happens.
Well, here it's you'll never really fail doing that. As well, I don't believe it's possible, but it's just funny.
Yeah.
Now, at this moment, I could technically go out to the outside world and finish off a couple things to get a couple additional things like speed up or the final dragon form, but I decided it would be tedious.
行き止まり
Aw, come on, you gotta carry on the legacy of Tales of Side Quest.
I will do the side quest, but I will much rather get to the bottom floor and then go back, because then you get an easy return to the surface spot.
Oh, makes sense.
However, that way, basically all of those things that I am gonna get kind of lose their
これで
purpose.
伝えられるわ
But I will say it like that. The speed up doesn't do much.
I like what you're doing here. She's like, how do we go down? And there's a giant hole in the floor, and you're just trying to like, well, there's a giant hole, man. Maybe I should just fly into it.
No. It's
No?
like actually she was more like well, there are those things on the ceiling. Just laser them until they fall and make a hole in the floor. That makes much more sense. What
But she
doesn't?
said it after you shot everything.
I said this game gets rushed at this point.
I see. Weirdest elevators.
Yeah, I believe they were used as loading maskers in the on the Saturn. It makes sense.
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised if they
Everything's a loading mask on the Saturn.
did. Everything's a loading mask on every CD-based console.
引き返して別の道を探そう。
Doors,
待ってエッジ。
other
から
doors,
下に抜けるのが一
door
番近道。
animations,
手がかりを
holding the
探し
door
ましょう。
Tripping
animations.
animation. Tripping animations.
Yes, those are also for the loading times. And here we have to do the exact same thing.
こういう
I mean,
仕掛けか。
so that's how it works. You just summon lamps to throw them on the floor and make a... God damn it.
Who designed this tower? And they were like, we want to be able to get to the lower floor, but rather than make a set of stairs, how about we make these lamp things that you have to shoot in order to make a hole, and then you can go down.
We make a button that summons those things to appear every single time somebody wants to get to the bottom floor. And then they can throw them on the ground to make a hole in the floor.
Working here must have been hell.
I mean, considering how it works, how they have it actually a system that provides new lamps every time somebody wants to go to the bottom floor. They must have been repairing it every single time. No wonder their civilization died.
Due to excessive boredom.
Due to excessive waste of resources.
That too.
I mean, every single time you want to go lower, you have to waste 3 lamps and a floor.
And ammo.
Well, no, that just goes on the dragon. Sorry, nerd.
Yeah, whatever. Meanwhile,
And here it's pretty cool because you see both kinds of circuits, both going back and forth.
yeah, that
Actually,
is cool, dude.
yeah, it all feels
Follow
like
the
an inside.
lights.
And actually, that will usually get you nowhere.
Really? That's cruel.
Well, they do. Well, yeah, of course, this thing. Somebody. I don't even
What do you
know
build this?
anymore. Ancients were supposed to be smart.
Like I said, they probably just got bored and decided to waste all their resources.
Oh, and here, as you can notice, like if you roll back, the figure on the top right corner is actually what we collect with the D units, and it's actually in the shape of the Durgan we have right now.
Neat.
Yeah. However, if somebody didn't tell me that was a Durgan, I would have never fought.
Panzer Dragoon's not exactly known for its consistent dragon designs.
No, I mean, the Durgan looks awesome, just the shape is very simple and ambiguous.
Yeah. Jesus. I'm convinced this
what they-
tower is bigger on the inside.
What they actually are inconsistent about is, however, the sizes of the Durgans. You'll.
Yeah.
I've shown this to you already with Orda, where the FMV dragon is like 3 times bigger than the in-game dragon.
Yeah.
The in-game dragon you ride like a motorcycle, whereas the FMV dragon you ride like a coach. I mean.
You ride it in coach. You're not rich enough to actually get the front row seat on the dragon. I'm sorry.
No.
I mean, man, how much would that suck? Like, they're like, hey, this dragon's huge. Anyone who pays like $5 can ride it, except you. You have to ride in the back because you're not worth it.
You have to ride on dragon's second tail.
The small one. I hope you've got a good grip because it ain't gonna be a nice ride.
No, I was actually making a horrible joke about Orda's art design.
Yeah.
Which it is cool, but they kind of have a very they kind of have an obsession with phallic symbols.
So remind me real quick, is this the last Panzer Dragoon game you're covering, or is there like one more after this?
No, I am gonna be covering Orda.
I thought you already did Orda. Huh.
No. I already had it recorded for a really long time.
I understand.
But since Orda takes place after this one, you know.
Tri-blast chip.
Yeah, it's basically an insta-use magic. Like, it doesn't waste 2 turns, it only wastes 1. But it's nothing special. Like as I said, I'm not using items, so I'm not gonna be using that. And besides, the items are kind of like cheating. And this game is easy enough that you don't need to do that.
No items ever.
I mean, in something like Final Fantasy, for example, the game is kind of made to be played with items, or many other RPGs.
Yeah.
But here it's just every item is just a kind of a worse version of a move.
Kinda.
Kind of worse and cheaper. Kind of like in Shin Megami Tensei. Over there, unless you know the super secret fusion methods that you would only know if you had played the game before, you would never know what's good.
Yet again, the camera does nothing to help you about where to go.
Yeah, and the fact there is no direct control of the camera doesn't help.
I love how you went to the map screen there. The exit is slightly to the left, just if you forgot.
No, I'm not actually aiming to. I'm not actually aiming to that place. I'm actually supposed to go above. I believe.
How are you supposed to gather that?
Well, there is an unexplored path on the top. Because you know we jumped we fell down a couple floors because lamps fall.
Come on, past Nico, get it together. Jeez.
I'm gonna barrel roll my way up there eventually.
Eventually.
This thing looks really mad.
Yeah.
It's probably annoyed with my progress.
Probably.
Looks like Magneto.
Magneto.
Yes.
There you go. Oh hey, a thing.
Yes, it's actually something we explored already, but not to, you know, such an extent. It's we just have to go to other corridors. Thankfully, you can easily see where you already went to once you're inside of them.
Gotcha.
Like for example, this one, I believe I went here already. So I'm just gonna turn back and go to the one on the right.
Problem solved.
Mm-hmm. Just need to access this completely redundant thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I do appreciate the camera being actually no, I'm actually going to the one on the left. Never mind. I do appreciate the camera being you know, and I'm going wrong. So yeah, I was right the first time. I do appreciate the camera. I do appreciate the camera being showing up from the side. However, it's not really helpful once you're supposed to find where you already went when it comes to those tri-sided corridors.
Yeah. I prefer to just think you don't know your left from right. Just saying. Donk.
Well,
and
I
with
was
that,
going.
you'll be not gone.
Nah, never mind.
Yeah, I was just about to say, because this thing's just about done, so you'll be covering the rest of this next time.
Yes, maybe, possibly, hopefully, before a year passes.
Next time, I might just decide not to finish the game, I don't know.